Get comfortable with English in comfort. This is your English listening practice podcast to help you learn and improve naturally.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English in Comfort. I'm Anna.
And I'm James. We are so happy you are here with us today for another very important lesson.
Today, we are talking about something that every single one of us has to do. We are talking about introducing yourself.
That's something almost everyone can relate to. We all have to do it, right? Whether it is on your first day of school, at a new job, or in a job interview.
Exactly. Or at an event, or really any time you are meeting new people. And it can be a little nerve-wracking.
It really can. And what's interesting is, this is not just difficult for English learners. Even native speakers usually have a hard time introducing themselves.
That is so true. They get nervous and think, what should I say? Or am I saying too much? It can be awkward for everyone.
And that's why it is really important to know how to properly introduce yourself, no matter where you are. It's a skill that can give you so much confidence.
And by the end of this episode, that is our goal for you. We will teach you how to introduce yourself the correct way so you can feel comfortable in any situation.
We are also going to show a full conversation example of how to do it at the end of the lesson, so you can see it all in action.
It's going to be a very helpful episode, so get comfortable and stick with us.
Okay. So, the very first thing to do when you introduce yourself, even before you say your name, is the greeting.
That's right. And the most important question to ask yourself here before you introduce yourself is this a formal situation or an informal one?
This is a key point because your greeting will change depending on the answer. So, let's start with formal situations. What is a formal situation, Anna?
A formal situation is any situation that is professional or serious. For example, a job interview is very formal. Or maybe you are meeting your new boss or an important client for the first time.
Right. Or perhaps you are at a professional event, like a business conference. In these places, you want to use a polite, formal greeting.
Exactly. So let's talk about some good examples. The most classic and safe formal greeting is simply, hello.
Hello is always a great choice. You can also use greetings based on the time of day. For example, you can say, good morning.
Or if it's after 12 p.m., you can say, good afternoon.
And in the evening, you would say, good evening. These are all very respectful and professional. You could walk up to a new colleague and say, good morning. It's nice to meet you.
Good morning. It's nice to meet you. A perfect formal greeting. Okay, so what about informal situations?
Informal situations are the opposite. They are relaxed, casual, and friendly. This is when you are not in a work or professional setting.
For example, you could be at a friend's party or a casual gathering. Or maybe you are joining a new hobby group. These are all informal situations.
Exactly. And in these moments, your greetings can be much more relaxed. The most common informal greeting is simply, hi.
Yes, hi is perfect. Another very common and friendly one is, hey. You might go to your friend's house, meet their roommate for the first time, and just say, hey, I don't think we've met yet.
It's simple and friendly. You might also hear very casual greetings like, "What's up?" or "How's it going?" But those are usually for people you already know a little.
I agree. If you are meeting someone for the very first time in a casual situation, hi or hey are the best choices.
So, the very first step is the greeting. Look around you, understand the situation if it's formal or informal, and then choose your greeting.
Exactly. So, after you've given your greeting and you've made that first connection, what's the next step, James?
Well, the next step is to tell them who you are. It's time to say your name.
Right. This part is very simple. The most common and useful way to do this works in almost any situation. You just say, I'm, and then your name.
It is the perfect phrase. It's short for I am. You can use it in a formal situation. Hello, I'm James. Or you can use it in an informal situation. Hey, I'm James. It's simple and clear.
It is. Now, another very common way, which sounds just a little more formal, is to say, my name is.
Yes, my name is also a great choice. You hear it often in business or professional settings. For example, you might say, "Good morning. My name is James Carter." Notice how you might use your full name in a very formal situation.
That's a great point. For example, if you are introducing yourself to a group, you could say, hello, everyone. My name is Anna, and I'll be your guide today. It sounds very confident and professional.
So the two key phrases are I'm and my name is. Is one better than the other?
Not really, but I would say I'm is probably used more often in daily conversation because it's a little shorter and more relaxed. But both are 100% correct.
I agree. So after your greeting, you can't go wrong. Just choose one of those simple phrases to share your name. So, we have the greeting and the name. What's a common piece of information that people might add next, Anna?
Well, after you've shared your name, the next thing people often share is their location, specifically where they are from.
That's a great point. But we need to say something very important here first. This part is completely optional.
That's right, it is so important. You should only share where you are from if you feel comfortable doing so. It is always your choice.
Exactly. But if you do feel comfortable and want to share, let's talk about some common ways to do it. The simplest way is to use the phrase I'm from.
It's easy and direct. You can say your country, for example, I'm from South Korea, or you can say your city, I'm from London.
Another really nice phrase is I grew up in. This is useful if you don't live in the same place anymore. You could say, I work here in Canada now, but I grew up in Brazil. I like this one because sometimes it's nice to add a little extra detail to make your introduction more interesting.
This is a great way to continue the conversation. For example, instead of just saying the place, you could add a small fact, like, I'm from a small town in Texas that is famous for its barbecue.
That little detail invites the other person to ask a follow-up question like, "Oh, I love barbecue. What's your favorite spot?"
It helps the conversation flow. But it is always okay to not say where you are from. A friendly greeting and your name is a complete and wonderful start for your introduction. The goal is always to feel comfortable, so you decide what you want to share.
Okay, now, what is the other very common and important thing to share, Anna?
Well, the next big one is what you do, your occupation. This could be your job, your studies, or just what you are currently busy with in your life.
Right? What do you do? Is one of the first questions people ask when they meet someone new. So, it's great to have a simple answer ready.
And the easiest way to talk about your job is to use the phrase we already know, I'm a or I'm an, followed by your job title.
It's simple and direct. For example, you could say, I'm a graphic designer, or I'm a doctor.
But what if you are a student? The structure is very similar. You can say, I'm studying, and then your subject.
Yes, for example, I'm studying computer science. Or you could add the location. I'm studying engineering at the local university.
Exactly. Now, there is also a useful phrase that works for many situations. You can say, I'm currently working as.
Ah, that's a great one. The word currently just means right now or at this time. For example, you could say, I'm currently working as an English teacher.
This phrase is really useful if your job is temporary or if you just want to be specific about what you are doing in this period of your life.
A really great self-introduction also shares a little bit of your personality. A wonderful way to do that is to mention your interests or your hobbies.
Yes. When talking about yourself, mentioning a few things you enjoy doing is how you help people connect with you as a person.
It really is. It gives the other person a chance to say, oh, me too. And suddenly, you have found something in common, which is the start of a great conversation.
So, what's a good way to share your hobbies? A simple and very natural phrase to use is, in my free time.
This is the perfect way to start the sentence. You can just follow it with what you like to do. For example, in my free time, I love painting and hiking.
It's positive, clear, and it shares two interesting things. You can also use other similar phrases. You could say, in my free time, I enjoy listening to podcasts and playing video games. Or, even more simply, I really like to cook and try new foods.
You don't need to give a long list. Just one or two hobbies is perfect. It's just a small piece of information to show your personality.
So, adding a little detail about what you love to do is a fantastic way to make your introduction warmer and more personal. And if you want to take that one step further, there's another part you can add to make yourself even more memorable.
And what is it?
You can share a fun fact or a unique detail about yourself.
Is it like a special talent or a surprising story?
Exactly. It's one small, interesting thing about you that people might not expect. It's not a deep secret, just something surprising that can make people smile.
And this is a great way to make your introduction stand out. It gives people something really interesting to remember you by. But if you do not have anything to share, that is absolutely fine.
That's right. But, as you said, if you do have something you want to share, it is always fun and a great way to start a conversation.
Okay, so let's give some examples. What would a fun fact sound like?
It could be about a skill. For example, a fun fact about me is that I love collecting postcards from different places.
That's a great one. Or it could be about a unique experience. Someone might say, something surprising about me is that I have traveled to over 20 countries.
Well, that's definitely memorable. It can also be something simple and funny. For example, a fun fact about me is that my cat has more followers on social media than I do.
I love that. So, a fun fact is just a little bonus you can add if you feel comfortable.
It is not necessary at all, but it can be a really wonderful way to show your personality and make a happy, lasting impression. Another thing to add and talk about when introducing yourself is your personality or your values.
This is for when you want to make a slightly deeper connection. You are giving the other person a small hint about your character and what's important to you.
So, if you do want to share a bit about your personality, you can describe yourself with a positive quality. For example, I'm a very curious person who loves learning new things.
It tells people that you are open-minded and interesting. It invites a great conversation. Let's give another example. If you are very social, you could say, I'm a real people person, so I'm excited to be part of the team.
Or if you're more adventurous, you might say, I'm always up for a new challenge. This shows that you are brave and energetic.
So this step is about sharing something authentic and positive about yourself. Okay, so we've gone from a simple greeting all the way to sharing a little bit about our personality. We have built a really complete and very personal introduction.
We have. And there is one final piece you can add that is very useful in certain situations. This is the goal or the reason for your introduction.
The reason for the introduction. Sometimes it helps to say why you are introducing yourself. This is especially common when you are joining a new group. For example, a new class or a new team at work. It connects your personal introduction to the shared purpose of the group. It answers the question, why are you here?
Exactly, and it's a kind of closing statement for your introduction. For example, if you are a new member of a club or class, after sharing your name and a few details, you could say, I'm excited to be part of this new class and learn with all of you.
Another good one for a new job could be, I'm looking forward to working with all of you.
That's a perfect example. So, this final step is all about connecting yourself to the situation you are in. All right, let's do a quick recap of all the pieces you can use to build your perfect introduction, from the simplest to the most detailed.
Great idea.
Number 1 is the greeting. Remember to choose one that fits the situation. For example, hello.
Number 2 is your name. The most common way to say it is I'm. For example, I'm James.
Number 3, which is your location. You can say, I'm from Canada.
Number 4 is your occupation, or what you do. For instance, I'm studying marketing.
Number 5 is sharing your interests or hobbies. You could say, in my free time, I enjoy cooking.
Number 6 is a fun fact or unique detail. For example, a fun fact about me is that I can speak 4 languages.
Number 7 is your personality or values. You might say, I'm a very optimistic person.
And finally, number 8 is your goal or reason for being there. For example, I'm excited to be part of this team.
And that's it. Those are all the building blocks. And now that we have all the pieces, we want to show you what a full introduction sounds like when you put them all together.
This is the best way to practice. We are going to show you how to do it. First, Anna is going to introduce herself using everything we learned together.
That's right. I will give an example of a formal introduction. You can imagine that I am in a professional situation, like the first day of a new training course or at a business gathering.
And this is a great opportunity for all of you listening to practice. As Anna speaks, feel free to slow down the video, pause, and repeat with us. It's a really great way to practice your speaking skills and build confidence.
Okay, here is my example of a formal introduction. Good morning, everyone. My name is Anna. I'm from a small town in the countryside, but I live here in the city now. I'm a project manager at a technology company. In my free time, I really enjoy photography, especially taking pictures of nature. A fun fact about me is that I once won a national baking competition. I'm a very detail-oriented person who believes good communication is the key to success. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm looking forward to learning with all of you.
That was a great example of a formal introduction. So clear, confident, and professional.
Right? The goal is just to be clear and polite in those kinds of situations.
Exactly. But now, let's see how to introduce yourself when it is an informal situation.
This is the kind of introduction you will probably use most of the time in your daily life.
For sure. We mean in relaxed, casual settings, like when you are with friends, or meeting new people at a party, a hobby group, or just a casual get-together.
In these moments, your introduction can be shorter, much more relaxed, and show more of your fun personality. Let's hear it.
Hey, how's it going? I'm James. I'm a graphic designer. And when I'm not working, I'm usually trying to find the best pizza in the city or learning to play the guitar. A fun fact about me is that I have a cat who knows how to fetch. It's really nice to meet you.
That was also a great example of a friendly, informal introduction, James.
The goal is just to connect and be yourself. And with that, we have covered everything.
We have. So, this is how to properly introduce yourself and talk about yourself no matter the situation. You now have all the pieces you need.
And now, it is your turn. We would love for you to practice what you've learned.
Using what we learned together, try to write down in the comments your introduction. It can be formal or informal, long or short. Just share what feels comfortable for you.
It's a wonderful way to practice, and we love reading your comments and getting to know the amazing people in our community.
We really do. Thank you for spending your time with us today and for letting us be part of your learning journey. We hope you feel much more confident now.
Subscribe to English in Comfort for more English listening and speaking practice, everyday conversations and phrases, interesting tips, and so much more.
Keep practicing, keep improving, and take care, everyone.